this episode picked up where the last one left off, where things got really crazy during MJ's event because Allan ended up showing up looking for Amara. Things got really crazy. Shay was yelling at Allan, then MJ was getting involved, and then Mike, the guy who Shay's been dating, also ended up getting involved, and things almost turned into a physical fight. But Amara ended up taking Allan outside, and she starts literally pouring her heart out to this man. And I'm sorry, even though I did have sympathy for her, I still kind of got secondhand embarrassment the way that she was crying and pouring her heart out to this man. This is a married man, okay? A man who disrespected her last season, calling her every name in the book, making colorist comments and saying that he didn't want her and that nobody wanted her. And then she's sitting there crying over this man, telling him how much she's in love with him and how much she wants to be with him. She was saying that Allan leads her on, basically, that he tells her that he's going to end up leaving his wife and they're going to be together and raise their children and live happily ever after. And then he never ends up following through with it. And so she feels some type of way. And he couldn't even give her an answer during this conversation with her crying in front of him. He didn't tell her that he was in love with her, but he didn't say that he wasn't either. He just said that he loves and respects her as the mother of his children. To me, it's very clear that he does not want to be with Amara and he's not interested in her, but he does stay around because I think he wants to be on TV. I think he likes the fame and the money that comes from being on the TV show, and that's why he still kind of leaves the door open with Amara. Now, of course, that's just my opinion because I don't know this man personally. However, I feel like Amara is leading herself on because he didn't say that he was in love with her. His mother said that he was, and I don't even know why she would trust anything that his mother had to say. But in this episode, Amara gets so upset at the fact that Allan is not giving her any clear answers in her opinion, so she storms off, and MJ sees that she's really upset, and he tries to go over there and comfort her. And I don't understand why MJ keeps trying to comfort Amara and be there for her because it's very clear that she's not interested in him. She doesn't want to be with him. It doesn't even seem like she wants a friendship with him because she was really pushing him away. Like, she did not want him talking to her. That's what it seemed like to me. So Bobby and Miami Tip hear all the chaos outside, and they go outside to see what's going on, and they see Allan being held back by security, and so was MJ because the two of them were yelling at each other. Allan was basically telling MJ to move on, that Amara doesn't want him and she's never gonna want him, and so he should just let it go. Now, I do feel like Allan was saying that because he wanted to hurt MJ. However, I do agree with him that Amara does not want MJ at all, and to me, she makes it very clear that she's not interested in him, and by him continuing to chase her, it seems like, you know, he's being a little bit desperate. Now, Allan and MJ almost fought, but security held them back and made sure that they didn't get into it, and that's when Bobby and Miami Tip end up telling Amara that they're doing a little group vacation, and she did say that she was interested in going, so apparently in this episode, everybody's getting invited to this group trip that Bobby and Gael are putting together. However, Bobby made sure that Gael was in the background and that nobody knew that she was a part of planning because he feels like nobody will go. Now, after all the drama that went down at MJ's event, Amara actually ends up talking to her mom the next morning because she's really upset with her mother because she feels like her mother is the reason why things went left at MJ's event because her mother was the one that told Allan that Amara was with MJ. Amara starts opening up to her mother about what happened with Allan and how she feels like he leads her on, and she also said that she felt like, you know, Allan's mother was lying when she told her that Allan was in love with her because that's not what he said when they had the conversation in last week's episode. And Amara starts telling her mother that she doesn't want to be like her, she doesn't want to be lonely and be a single mother, and it's like, girl, why would you say that to your mom? I understand wanting to do things differently than your parents did. A lot of us feel that way. However, how does she know that her mother is not happy being single? How do you know that she wanted to be with somebody? I mean, I know it's hard to believe, but there are some people that like being single and are comfortable being that way. I'm not saying that her mother is happy being single. I just feel like Amara is assuming that her mother is unhappy just because she doesn't have a man in her life. And Amara's mother was right because it's like Amara had a baby by Allan while he was married to somebody else. So she's already been a single mother, okay? She's already been raising these children by herself with the help of her mother. Allan has been nowhere to be found, okay? He has not been helping her. According to Amara herself, Allan has not been there for their children. So she's already been a single mother. And then she starts telling her mother that she just feels like every time she's trying to move on, Allan comes back and starts leading her on again. And her mother, again, was right. She told Amara that the only reason why he's able to pop into her life and shake things up and make her feel like there's something that's going to happen between the two of them is because she's always available when he does contact her. She always leaves the door open, letting him know that she still wants to be with him and that there's a chance that they could still end up being together. And that's why he keeps doing what he's doing. If she really does not want to be single for the rest of her life and be a single mother and be unhappy and continuously be led on by Allan, then she should change that. She should move on with her life. Now, Shay ends up meeting up with the guy that she's been dating. His name is Mike, and basically he ends up bringing up Fabo during this conversation because when he talked to her mother in last week's episode, she mentioned Fabo and how toxic the the relationship was and how she doesn't want Shay to get back with him. And obviously that was a red flag for Mike, so he wanted to talk to Shay about it and see where she's at when it comes to Fabo. But it seemed like Shay got really upset with Mike when he mentioned Fabo's name. I feel like she felt like he was trying to make her tell him that she wasn't going to get back with Fabo ever. And I feel like she doesn't want to say that because she knows that if Fabo comes around and wants to be with her again, she's definitely leaving the doors open to be with him. I honestly don't think that Mike was wrong for asking her about Fabo because it's clear that they have not been broken up for long enough. And I feel like, she just jumped into dating again, even though she's not over Fabo. I feel like if Fabo called her right that second, she would have left that date with Mike and she would have been right back with Fabo again. That's why I feel like she shouldn't even be dating. I feel like she should just be single because honestly, I don't think she's done with Fabo. And this is why I get confused about Shay, okay? Because she's constantly jumping down Amara's throat about Allan, and rightfully so, because Allan is not a good guy when it comes to Amara. He's a married man and he clearly does not want to be with Amara and he doesn't respect her. However, Shay telling Amara that she's stupid for trying to be with Allan is like the same thing when it comes to her and Fabo, because she's stupid for him too. She still wants to be with him even though she said that he's cheated on her, lied to her. He also said that she was his side chick as well, just like Amara was Allan's side chick. So I just feel like it's the pot calling the kettle black, and that's the reason why I always look at her sideways when she tries to come for Amara about Allan. So even though Hot Topic has been completely MIA this season after she exposed that Bobby was the one that showed her that email, spilling a bunch of tea about Swerve, who is Trina's husband, and now she decides to pop up and she shows up to support Zoe because Zoe is kind of putting music on the back burner while she focuses on her cosmetic brand. And so her and Hot Topic are having a conversation and Zoe starts telling her how her and Ching Diamond ended up falling out because she was trying to give Ching Diamond advice on her boyfriend. And the reason why she was trying to give her advice is because that's all Ching ever talked about was her boyfriend. And that's when Hot Topic ends up spilling some tea about Ching because she said that she heard from a very reliable source that Ching never had good intentions with befriending Zoe, that she said that she was there to take Zoe's place, and I believe that that was true. And that was basically confirmed at the end of this episode. She was never genuine with Zoe because as soon as Zoe opened up to her about her own relationship with Calvin, as soon as Ching felt some type of way about Zoe, she immediately threw everything that Zoe told her in her face. Hot Topic really confuses me because she got upset when Zoe told her about Bobby's group trip that everybody's going to. She was upset because she found out that he invited Trina and Swerve as well, even though Swerve dumped water on his head, but he never decided to invite her. And I don't understand why she thinks that he should invite her because she tried to blame him for literally everything. Even though she was the one that was prying into Trina and Swerve's business, she's the one that met up with Swerve's alleged baby mama and ended up getting all this information about him, not Bobby. Bobby just told her that he got an email from somebody spilling some tea on Swerve. He didn't go run that information out to everybody though, but she did. Now, because Miami Tip really wants Pinky Doll to fit in with everybody in Miami and she wants her to come on the trip that Bobby is planning, she ends up meeting up with Pinky Doll in the studio and she gives Pinky Doll some truth, okay? She tells her that she's been rubbing everybody the wrong way in Miami and that she's going about things the wrong way and that she was the one that was in the wrong when it came to her and Amara getting into it in last week's episode at MJ's event. And at first, Pinky Doll was not feeling what Miami Tip had to say and she felt like she wasn't the one that came for Amara first in last week's episode. And it's like she was the one that came for Amara first. Amara was putting the blame on Ray J for their beef, which is where it needed to be because he's the one that set them both up in that situation, knowing there was going to be drama. And instead of Pinky Doll agreeing that, Ray J was the problem and they both should have handled things differently, she started calling Amara out of her name, and that's when things escalated further than it needed to go. And when Miami Tip said this to Pinky Doll, she was feeling some type of way, questioning whether or not Miami Tip is actually her friend or if she's trying to check her. And honestly, I don't like friends like that, like friends that act like Pinky Doll. Like if you tell your friend that they're wrong, they'll get mad at you thinking that you're doing something wrong to them by telling them that their behavior was unacceptable. As someone's friend, you should be able to tell them when they're wrong and when they're right, because that's your opinion and you should be able to express that to your friend. So I don't understand why Pinky Doll was feeling some type of way. However, Miami Tip did seem to get through to Pinky Doll. Now in this episode, Pinky Doll also finally ends up meeting up with Timberland, who was the reason for her coming to Miami in the first place to work on music, and he said that he just sees potential in her and he feels like he can work with her and make her a hit. And I feel like, people were laughing about it in the comment section, making it seem like it was just a charity job that he was doing, but maybe he does see something in Pinky Doll, okay? I'm not a fan of Pinky Doll. I'm not a fan of her music or anything like that, but she does have a lot of followers and she was going viral a lot, so I feel like, maybe there is something there. Ching Diamond is kind of starting to get on my nerves, okay? I kind of liked her when she first started on this season, but now I'm not really feeling her. In this episode, she ends up meeting up with her boyfriend Marquez because he moved to Arizona with his mother, but he came down there to visit her, and she thinks that he's going to stay in Miami with her while she works on her music, but he tells her that he's actually going to be moving to Arizona with his mother because he actually found a job out there. And she gets really upset with him because she wants him to be in Miami with her, and she feels like he's trying to go to Arizona to be far away from her so that he can cheat on her. And it's like, girl, if he wanted to cheat on you, he would cheat on you right in Miami. It doesn't matter where he's at. If you feel like he's going to cheat on you because he's in a different state, then why are you with him anyway? I kind of understand both sides of this situation, though. She wants him to be close to her, not far away, but she also said that she wanted him to get a job, and so did her mother. And now that he's found a job, but it's in Arizona, now she feels some type of way and she's mad about it. And she ends up dropping a bomb on him during this meetup. She tells him that she's actually pregnant and that she went to the doctors and they confirmed it, and she said that she's 8 weeks in. And I don't really like to question women when they say that they're pregnant because I don't think that that's right, but in this particular situation, I'm questioning whether or not she actually is, or if she's just telling this man that she's pregnant because she doesn't want him to go to Arizona. And the thing is, her saying that she was pregnant didn't work anyway because he still said that he was going to leave and go to Arizona and that he'll come visit her. And I wasn't surprised about it, and I don't know why she was surprised either, because she said that this man has cheated on her so much in their relationship and hasn't treated her right. So why does she think just because she says that she's pregnant, he's going to all of a sudden change his ways? Now, if she really is pregnant and he decides to leave and go to Arizona, I don't think that that's right, but I think he doesn't believe that she's actually pregnant. And after the way that she acted when it came time to meet up with Zoe at the end of this episode, I honestly don't know if she actually is pregnant, because she was getting really hyped up in a way that a woman that's pregnant probably wouldn't do because they don't want to risk their pregnancy. Because Zoe ends up asking Ching to meet up at the end of this episode because she wants to find out if the things that she heard from Hot Topic is true about Ching only befriending her to take her place. And Zoe decides that she's not going to go into the restaurant to meet with Ching because she knows that things could probably get heated and she doesn't want to fight in somebody's establishment. So she's outside and she FaceTimes, Ching while Ching is inside the building, and she ends up asking her right away if these things that she heard about her is true. And Ching did not deny this stuff, okay? She basically confirmed that she did say that she was there to take Zoe's place. But Ching was being really mean, saying that the reason why she decided to befriend Zoe is because she felt bad for her because nobody liked her and she has no talent and she's not good at making music, and that she was just allowing Zoe to ride her coattails. And I was confused by her saying this because we don't know Ching Diamond. We do know Zoe from this show. I'm not saying that Zoe's music is popping or that she's this big star, but we know her. We don't know Ching Diamond. So I thought that that was weird. The two of them almost ended up getting into a physical fight because they started walking towards each other from across the street, and Ching ended up throwing something at Zoe, but Zoe just decided to leave. And I think it was good that she decided to leave because I don't feel like she should give Ching Diamond any of her energy. I don't like women like Ching Diamond, okay? Because she's quick to cut off a friend who just said one thing that she didn't like, but will take her man back who disrespects her and cheats on her 24/7. I don't like women like that. Because if your friend said something that you didn't like or you misinterpreted, instead of trying to get clarification on that and working on your friendship, you'll end that, but then you'll go take a man back 150 times when he does you wrong. So I'm not really feeling her. So those are my thoughts on this week's episode of Love and Hip Hop Miami. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button for me. I appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos and hit the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much to everybody who has subscribed to my channel. I appreciate you all. And until next time, I will talk to you guys in my next video.